We're the Super Vape Brothers. I said that really fast. Super Vape Brothers. So, we're going to start doing reviews on e-cigs because they're great. We like them. They're fantastic. We both smoked a lot. We used to have a pipe. It was great.
Real pipe.
Yeah, like Sherlock Holmes, you know, pipe. But, and we just smoked cigarettes because we broke it like twice. Anyway, first we're going to do a review of the blue cig because everyone wants them, I guess, for some reason. They just do really well marketing. And no one really does a review. I've seen like 3 that are like half-assed reviews. They're just kind of like meh. So we're gonna do one. So I guess there's 4 basic points: the battery, the atomizer, and the cartridge, and then the vapor production, of course. So, all right, let's start with the first point. Everyone, I'm sure you've seen people take these apart, but for those of you who haven't, this is the battery. This is the atomizer, and then the cartridge is in this. This is actually just a mouthpiece. I'll explain that later. So, battery life on these, and all of our statements are going to be in reference to other pieces we've used. We also have 901s, 801s. I have an e-pipe and a pass-through, which pass-through. So everything's going to be in reference to what we've used. The battery life on the blue, for someone like us, obviously it's going to be relative to however often you vape. Like, if you hit it every 4 seconds throughout the entire day, obviously the battery's going to die a lot faster than someone who hits it every 5 minutes. These generally last me about 45 minutes, which is decent. Not very good. The 901s are like 2 hours generally, and they're a mini as well. So, I don't know. Relative to other ones, these die very quickly. They do make up for it, like I'm sure everyone said, because they give you these, the charger case. So they give you 2 batteries in this. If you keep this on you, really it's not a big deal. I don't know. I took it camping like 2 weeks ago, and this kept me through like the entire weekend because I could charge them like 6 times off this. So, I don't know. They do alright. Alright, and then next piece is the atomizer. Atomizer is very small compared to most because it's a super mini, which is why it's the size of a cigarette, which is cool. But that means it's also not super powerful, which is to be expected. I don't know. As far as vapor production goes, you can see he's hitting the other one I have. They don't do very well. I mean, it's enough. Once you break them in, that's key. If you break it in, use it for a while, then they'll start to do better. And yeah, they do alright. There's not a huge throat hit, as he brought up earlier. Not a huge throat hit. So, I don't know. They're okay. They're not great. Atomizers, I don't know how you place these.
As far as the atomizer goes, the blue is nothing near the 901 or the 801 or the e-pipe.
Oh god.
It's the 601?
Yeah, it's e-pipe.
The e-pipe's the 601. They don't produce as much vapor as any of those 3 other pieces. They're okay to start off with. I would say if you want to start off with something, this would be a good place to start if you're not ready to take the real dive into the bigger pieces or atomizer.
So, yeah, if you don't want to, I don't know, it's a cigarette. But I think once you get into vaping, if you do, like we did, you'll start to realize it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, I keep a pen style on me all the time, keep in my pocket, it's not a big deal. I use that all the time. But yeah, I think the biggest thing about these, because we just got done talking about the atomizer, it's alright, it does pretty well. It's just, it's not a powerhouse, and don't expect it to be. The biggest problem with these, aside from the relatively short battery life, is the carts are just awful. They're just bad. They're just terrible. They're small. They don't wick at all, and you don't ever get all of the juice out of them. So, frankly, just don't use them. It's the best way to get around it. Just don't buy them.
Just drip or dip.
Drip Drip or dip. I drip. That's all I do is drip on these. These are dripping machines because they taste great. They don't burn because the atomizer is small, so you don't really get a burnt flavor until you're out. So I drip on them constantly. Just pull it off, put a couple drips on the wick, let it soak in. I don't usually use more than 2 or 3. I don't know. I'll do another video of how to do that specifically. So yeah, drip. Don't buy the carts. It's really depressing because you get, what, like 25 carts or something right when you buy the cig, which you're like, oh yes, so many. No, it's shitty. They suck. But I don't know. It's not a waste of juice either though, because you can extract the juice, which I'll probably also put in that video with a syringe. But yeah, so that works. But basic breakdown, I don't know. Battery, not very good. Maybe 45 minutes. The atomizer, I don't know.
It's alright. It keeps the flavor, but it doesn't give you good vapor or good throat hit.
Yeah. It'll get you by. If it's this or smoking, this is better. And the carts are just awful. They're just bad. So don't buy them, please. You'll have a bad experience and then not want to buy these anymore. Overall, I mean, they're what? It was like $50 to get the starter kit, which is not, I mean, it's not ridiculous, but it's not cheap either. You can get an 801 starter kit for 40 if you go to the right place. I got a 901 starter kit for 30 from Brouillon Direct, which is from China, so you have to wait a couple weeks. But I had to wait 3.5 weeks for this when I bought it because they were in the middle of a storm of crap, basically. I don't know. So Blue, not very good customer service. I wouldn't recommend the company. Super Minis in general probably aren't that bad. The M401 and M402 are almost identical, and I haven't heard anything bad about those. I haven't had a chance to try them, but I haven't heard anything bad. So
yeah, aside from a shorter battery life than a 901 or an 801, obviously because the battery's smaller.
Yeah, it's just to be expected, because I mean, if you look at the battery size in general, this is the Blue battery, and this is the 801 battery. Like, there's a significant difference. Obviously, one's going to last longer. These will last like 4 to 6 hours.
Depending on how you smoke.
Exactly. I vape pretty heavily, so it depends. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend Blue just as a company, but if you have one, don't worry about it. It's not a biggie. They're still good. I still use mine. It's not bad. Even though I have a lot of other pieces, I still use it. So it's not an epic waste of money. Plus, they give you fun stuff. Like this is probably my favorite, the little AC to USB thing. I use it for all my chargers, and then USB charger. I have one of these for my DSCs that charges all of them. Just plug it in, plug it into the wall. It's great. And then the kit, obviously, the little PCC is good. But yeah, oh, one other fun fact about the Blue, just because I need to mention it, they are the most sensitive things on the planet. If you put these in your pocket and like walk around, they'll go off. So don't. Whenever I put mine in my pocket, I take it apart. Just take the atomizer off and then walk to wherever I'm going. I walk to work every day, and I've had days where I throw it in my pocket, walk to work, and I get there. Before I go in the building, I pull it out to take a drag, and it's like on fire because it's been going off the entire time. So then the battery's dead. Just something to take into account, I guess. Other than that, Blue is mediocre at best. Kind of how we feel. Anyway, that was our first video. Hope we did well. There'll be a lot more. Thanks.